Name is Bianca Bayardo, that's my name. And then my photographer name or videographer name is Lady Propr. So I'm an Afro-Latina. I'm very proud to be Afro-Latina. It's been kind of hard in my family because I'm the only Afro-Latina and everyone else is Mexican. So I've always been made fun of, and my hair is super curly, super, super curly. And everybody in my family doesn't have curly hair like that. So everybody would make fun of me and call me China, and or they call me negra because when I was little I was super dark. So I grew up with that, and then I remember the first time I really felt comfortable. My mom worked a lot, so I never really met my dad. He kind of left, and it was just me and my mom. And she would work a lot, and so my babysitter was this black family that lived down the street, and my best friend, her name was Laquita. And that was the first time I really felt comfortable, because they treated me like family, and I felt wow, this is my family, wow, I'm accepted. So I was born and raised in the Coachella Valley, and it was my middle school year going into high school, and my mom just couldn't put up with me. Unfortunately, my mom, she just couldn't put up with me, and I was just rebelling out and acting out, and she was like, you're gonna go live with your sister. And my sister had moved to Oakland, and there was a photographer out there named Lady Tragic, and she's just so dope and edgy, and she just had this look to her, and I just loved her. I thought she was so dope, and she does music, and so I was like, yeah, Lady Tragic. And then when I was in high school, I started tagging. So everybody's tagger name, we're all girls, everybody's tagger name didn't have an E at the end. So Propr, Propr without the E, and then there's Glamour, and then there was Keeper, and then so that was our tagger names. And I just kept Propr for a minute, and then once I picked up a camera, I was like, it'd be a cool name, Lady Propr would be a cool name. And I always was around cameras. My mom bought me a camera once, and I would always do music videos with my friends, or dance videos and stuff like that. It was just little stuff, nothing too serious. And they put me in photography, and that was the first time I picked up a DSLR. And I kind of liked it, and I was kind of good at it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention in this class and see what I learned. So I learned Photoshop, I learned Illustrator, and from that I graduated high school, went to Oakland. When I came back from Oakland, one of my friends was selling a DSLR for $300. And I was like, oh, that's a steal. I'll buy it from you, So I bought it from her, and then I kind of just took off from there. One of my friends knew that I had a camera because I was posting pictures all on Facebook. No, was it Facebook at that time? Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't MySpace anymore. So he was like, yo, I need someone just to take pictures. I'm gonna set up a stand, put some lights, some strobes. You just have to stand in front with a tripod and take pictures of the people at the club. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went to go do that, and it was really fun. And so he's like, if you want to go around and take photos, you're more than welcome to. And I was like, okay. So he gave me his external flash, and I went and started taking pictures, and they came out so dope. So dope. Everybody was like, wow, you took these? And I was like, yeah, I took that. That's me. And so from there, people were like, oh, we want you again. And I kept going and taking photos, and people just started hitting me up for other stuff. And then I started doing bigger clubs out there, and then I was doing photos for a little bit, and then I was like, I want to do videos now because I'm so bored of doing photos. And I remember there was the guy that hired me to do photos the first time. I told him, I want to do videos. I want to start doing videos. Can you help me? Can you teach me what are the steps into doing this? And he was like, you should just stick to photography. Boom. I was like, nah. So at that time I was kind of like a stay-at-home mom, but I would go out, and do these gigs. But while I was at home during the day, I taught myself videography. I taught myself how to film. I taught myself settings. I taught myself what's, the best way to film 24 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second, because you get more of that film look instead of da-da-da. So that's kind of how I started doing film. When I first started doing nightlife, I met a DJ named DJ Super James, and he started hiring me for little things like doing photography for like meet and greets and stuff like that. So he works for a radio station in Palm Springs, Vegas, and in San Francisco. So he has a lot of artists coming in and out. So I've met a lot of people. And from there, I started thinking like, it'd be really cool like to document his life and kind of like follow him and just film it that way, documentary style. That's kind of like the new thing that's been going on too. So from there, I started picking up more projects to do with him. And he is open. He was like, yeah, do whatever you want. It looks cool, and he was open to paying me whatever. And it just really worked out that way. And I really enjoyed working with him. So that kind of helped me and motivated me to start working with other people. So he was like, I kind of based my project off of people. He was my first project. And then I started working with other producers, other DJs. In the desert, I have a friend named Jay Patron, and he's an upcoming Latino artist. And he was doing shows, local shows. And I was like, it'd be so cool to document him, that's so interesting. And now he's signed to a record and everything just grows a certain way. So I'm like, I'm so happy I got to capture when he was coming up. Right now, I'm working with my friends Breakfast in Vegas, and we're doing a lot. And they're really helping me and motivating me to do social media marketing. And I've done a little bit of it, but they're like, you really got to push it forward. So with them, I not only film behind the scenes stuff in the studio, I also film them at nightclubs. And then we're starting to do more documentary style stuff. I've done a lot of graphic design for them, as well as some marketing, but now we're gonna get more into ads and stuff like that. So that's a huge project that I've been working on. I'm at home studying. I'm instead of doing my actual schoolwork, I'm doing marketing stuff for them. So that's my project right now. I think it's just maybe that term, self-taught, I taught myself how to do it. And I think what motivated me first was the rejection when I wanted to film and someone told me don't do it. And then when I started learning and I started producing videos and my videos just kept getting better and better and better, I was like this is an example of me being self-taught and me being able to execute that. And look at what I've done, without school or without anybody's help. And so doing this marketing thing, I'm like, well, if I did this with videography and my videos, they're not the best, but they're pretty good. I can do that with marketing. I could do that with social media marketing. It's not, I think what's hard about it is the time. It's just time management. It's just so difficult. But if you take the time to really study it, it's so easy. It comes to you so easy. So that's self-taught is just the way to go. For me, it's the experience that I've built, I would never learn in school. You can't learn how to deal with two drunk people, and trying to figure out how to film around them, or filming in a club with a bunch of drunk people, how to approach them, how to talk to people. I learned that all on my own. And so the experience that I've learned, it just doesn't come with school. You just have to be out there and you really have to learn it. And to me, that's experience that matters. What you learn in school, you can learn everything that I learned in school, I could learn on the internet, but it's actually being on the field and actually being in those positions that really make your experience worth it. And so for me, I think that's what's beneficial when you have experience, because it's you've been there, you've done it, and you've been through it in the worst ways, and you know how to deal with it. I didn't give up. And the worst scenarios that I've ever been through, I wasn't oh, fuck this, I'm not gonna do this anymore. No, I was the next time, now I know how to deal with this. And that's just my experience. I'm a big people person, so when it comes to going to events and stuff, I'm really open to it. I love doing it. So networking has helped me so much, because I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have now if it wasn't for me networking. And it's crazy though, the people that I've met through networking have become my friends. They become personal. They've met my daughters, or they know about my daughters, they know about my life. And it's just crazy how you go to network and you go to network for work, but then you start, work to me is I can't work with people if I don't feel comfortable with you. I can't work with people if we don't, we're not vibing on a certain level. And networking is it's just the base of that. And I wouldn't have gotten all the gigs that I've gotten if it wasn't for networking. And it's just interesting just to have, the knowledge of being you know what, oh, I know somebody at so-and-so, let me hit him up real quick. oh, I wouldn't have known that person if I didn't go to these events, you know, and networked and been like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm Bianca, I'm a videographer, nice to meet you. Woo, woo, woo. Let's have lunch or something. And it's seriously that simple. Or let's have a drink or something, like, let's catch up. What's your email? And it's, a lot of people are scared of the face-to-face interaction with other people, but have a drink or two, take a shot, and then go meet these people, and you'll as long as you leave with one contact, that contact can make your life totally different, you know? If you have a camera ready, just go to any event. If you know, like, if you're trying to do nightlife photography, because that's more of my field, or videography, get a good low light lens. A 50 millimeter, you know, 1.8 is usually the go-to because it's super cheap. And then, you know, hit up these clubs and be like, hey, is it okay? Or just go to the club and be like, you know, I just want to get a couple pictures, or I just want to grab a couple clips, you know, to put together for foot. And usually the clubs will be like, yeah, it's cool. You know, like, they want the promotion too. And if you're dope, that's even better for them. And if it's not, it doesn't affect them at all. But somebody's going to say yes. Somebody's going to be like, wow, you're dope. Like, keep doing it, keep going, and don't stop. Just keep going and keep filming and keep trying to learn more about it. So if you go, let's say you go to a club and you film and your footage is not that great. Okay, well, research it. Research what you need to film in low light. What's a better setting for your specific camera into filming in a low light setting? The next night, go again with the settings that you learned and keep filming, and you'll get to a point where you're like, wow, like, this is way better than when I first started. And then it just keeps going. You know, you're on a roll now. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because it could take forever. It could take 5 years, it could take 3 years, it could take 10 years. Failure is when you give up. And I don't want to give up on myself. It's really hard with my family to not do that, because they're always like, what you're doing doesn't make money. What you're doing is, you know, not a good job for you to have, because it doesn't set a good example for your daughters, or it doesn't give you stability. I know one day I'm gonna get to the point where I'm making enough money to take care of everybody, and that's my goal. My goal is to do what I love to do and take care of my family, even if they doubt me, because in the end, that's just the person that I am, and failure to me would be just to give that up. I wanna start a business, an agency. And what I want to do is have an agency where I have hired videographers, photographers, graphic designers, social media strategists, and be like, okay, Adidas, you know, let's say, for example, I reach out to them and say, hey, I have this videographer, photographer, what events do you have coming up? We can film it, we can photograph it, and we can market it, you know, through social media ads, through, you know, that type of aspect, and we can make the flyers for it. So we have, you know, graphic designers. My goal is to have an agency where I have this dope team of different types of people that do different types of things, and market that to different companies, DJs, venues, just different places where I can be like, yo, let's make a contract. This is my people, hey, send you out, do the job, come back, edit, done deal. I want to search and find these people that I know are dope, but they're underground, you know, Latinos, Afro-Latinos, you know, people of color. Like, there's just so many, and we're so overlooked. You know, people don't want to hire us for whatever reason. And I want a team, like, look at my team. You know how diverse we are. And that's what I want. That's what I want to focus on. My agency is going to be a bunch of dope people, dope creatives working together, and just showing people, like, we can all work together. Like, this world is big enough for everybody to win. If you don't really focus or write things down or just have a vision, then you're just going everywhere and trying all kinds of different things. And that's not bad to say, but it's so much easier and mentally, for your mental health, to have a certain path and be like, okay, I want to reach this goal in 5 years. What do I need to do to get there? Write it down and work on those things. And if they don't work, then write other things down. There's so many different possibilities that you can get to by doing different things. But if you stick to one thing and then it doesn't work out, then try something else. That's better than just doing a bunch of things at the same time. You know, you're just wasting time. And unfortunately, you know, time goes by so fast. To me, it just makes me proud that I can be that. I can be a Latina and be like, yo, my shit's dope, you know, like, and I'm gonna be successful. And when I am successful, it's gonna feel so good to be like, I'm an Afro-Latina mother who did this, you know, who built this industry, who built this agency with all these people, and I brought everybody together. Like, to me, that motivates me a little bit more, you know, just being a mom, being who I am, being a woman, and then just being Latina.